Rick is a new crime drama biopic directed by Yann Demange. I think that's how you pronounce their name. This film stars Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer Jason Leigh. It also stars Richie Merritt as the title character of Rick. It also stars R.J. Cyler. I saw him in the movie and I was like, holy shit, I know him from somewhere. And then I remembered, oh yeah, Power Rangers from last year. He was the Blue Ranger. He's in this movie. So White Boy Rick is a story about a white boy named Rick. Trust me, I wish I could spring the upset for you, and I wish I could surprise you and tell you, no, you thought the story was about a white boy named Rick. But actually, the real story of this movie is about Gloria. Yeah, that's right, Gloria and her sister Dora, and the magical backpack that travels with them, and also the weird monkey that they adopted. And it tells about their journey to South America, exploring shit, and then their run-ins with a weird fox that likes stealing shit. Like it or not, people, Dora the Explorer is coming. I mean, we should just accept it and get used to it. But either way, White Boy Rick is telling the true story of Richard Worst Jr., I believe that's his actual name, and how he became the youngest informant in FBI history back in the 80s. Silly me, I thought it was illegal to use younger kids as informants, at least that's what I thought going into the movie, but apparently the FBI decided to use a 15-year-old kid and inform on the rest of his neighborhood in Detroit. And while he was doing that, he was also getting mixed up in the drug trade, and so this movie deals with how him and his family dealt with the struggles of the drug trade, also dealing with the struggles of being the informants for the FBI, and everything that came with it and everything that came afterwards. There's a phrase called putting lipstick on a pig, and what it basically means is that it's something where if you put makeup on something, or if you put something nice on something that doesn't look that good, it can sometimes make it look even better. Now, I'm one of those weird people that says, well, if you put lipstick on a pig, it's still going to be a pig, and I'm not really sure that I'm going to be looking at the pig like, oh, okay, the pig's prettier now. Yet still, I think that's still a phrase that describes this movie, where it's a biopic and it's telling a true story, and we all know how those can go. Similar to how lipstick on a pig can sometimes elevate how a pig looks to certain people, I think the performances in White Boy Rick are what elevate the material to new heights. Specifically, the performances of the two main characters. I mean, there are other supporting characters in the movie for sure, but I think Matthew McConaughey and Richie Merritt are the standouts. Matthew McConaughey is terrific in this film. He usually is nowadays. Like, whatever I see him in, I'm just like, yeah, Matthew McConaughey was Matthew McConaughey. He was really awesome. He plays the father of Richie Worst Jr. in this movie, and he has this, I don't know, he has this energy to him. He has this optimism that I really liked. He's the kind of guy that can have a shitty day and then get mud splashed on him at the end of the day, and he's just like, yeah, well, at least I have a house to go into. Oh wait, the house just fell down. Well, that's okay, at least I have my clothes and I can sleep out here somewhere on the grass. That's the kind of optimistic outlook he seems to have on life, and I really appreciate that. I like people that are optimistic, what can I say? But you also see that hustler's ambition in the father, and you see how it transitions to the son in the story, and that's the aspect of the film that I really like. I like the relationship and the dynamic between the father and son, and how the father and his hustler ambitions really start to rub off on the son. The son gets influenced by the drugs and the criminals and all the people around him, and he looks at everything that they have, and he's like, you know what, they look like they're living a good life. I think I want that shit. I think this is Richie Merritt's first major role. I don't know that I've seen him in anything else, but I will say he was really good in this movie. Matthew McConaughey is up here, obviously, because he's a great actor, but Richie Merritt more than holds his own. This essentially is his movie with Matthew McConaughey and the rest of the characters playing supporting roles. He really pulled off the look of a young, ambitious kid that gets caught up in all of these dangers of the FBI and of the drugs. His performance in this film was good enough that it made me want to see him in future shit. I think he's only 17 years old or something like that. I think that he did a good job at portraying the person he was supposed to portray, which is really all you're asking for in a biopic. Just don't mess it up. I also think this is a good looking movie from a cinematography standpoint. I think that they used some really good shots of Detroit, or wherever the hell this thing was shot. I'm actually not entirely sure if it was shot on location in Detroit, but the point is they made Detroit, or whatever city they shot in, look really, really good. Some really beautiful shots of Detroit that really captured the era that they were trying to capture. I think the music was good in this movie too, and I also like the little close-ups and little angles that the director used to emphasize emotion in certain scenes in this movie. So now that we got all of the lipstick out of the way, I think it's time we address the pig in the room. The pig in the room being that this movie probably needed like one more rewrite. It probably needed a tighter script. The focus of this film feels like it's split down the middle. It feels like it's trying to tell two different stories here. One story is about Richie Worst Jr., the informant for the FBI who gets caught up in all these dangerous things. And then the other one is about Richie Worst, the drug dealer, and how that affected his life afterwards. They decided to structure the story in a way that made the pacing really drag in the second half of the movie, because in the first half of the movie, you feel like you're building towards a climax. Get to the climax, you realize, oh shit, we still have like an hour to go in this movie, and then the movie just kind of goes down, 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 down. Like, somewhere down there after that. It got to the point that we reached somewhere, I think, towards the third act of the film, and I was just sitting there like, holy shit, we're still here? Wait, the movie's not over yet? What, fuck me, how long is this movie? It turns out the movie's actually less than 2 hours long, I think, but the movie feels like it's 2.5 easy. That is really just due to the way they decided to structure the story. There's a whole bunch of events and scenes that happen in the second half of the movie. Some feel inconsequential to the plot overall, and as a result, it makes these scenes feel even longer than they should be. I saw the execution for a great play here, alright? I saw the offensive line protecting. I saw the receivers running their routes. I saw the quarterback get a good read off the safety. I saw him throw the long ball, and then I saw the receiver drop it at like the 5-yard line. Great idea, and a great idea for a story. It didn't have the execution to make it a touchdown play. White Boy Rick is a pretty decent movie overall, but I can't highly recommend it. So I'm going to put it in the golden age for Man of Steel. Solid movie. It's a solid watch. I mean, I don't think you'll be wasting your time watching it. I just think it's a little bit too boring for rewatchability. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos. I got a lot more work coming your way. If you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.